Well, how happy are you with how the preseason went leading into the Sacramento State game on Friday?
So far, the preseason has been a pretty good couple weeks, and I think that we've got a lot out of it. And we had some targets that we're looking to achieve, and I think we're on pace to hit those targets. And having a game early on with the Timbers, I thought ended up being a very good situation for us because it's three daily doubles into it, and then we get right into it with an MLS team. And I thought we found a lot about ourselves, and so that gave us the whole next week to craft some things maybe we didn't think about going into the Simon Fraser game. And I thought that we were able to put some things together against Simon Fraser. And at the same time, there are a couple of guys who are still nicked up with injuries. So I think all in all, coming together with an identity that the guys understand and their roles and responsibilities, that I think that's been achieved.
Can you talk about your front line and the ability they have to create scoring chances?
Our front line, as far as their ability to create scoring chances, is pretty exciting. I think that even with the first game against the Timbers, what you saw the ability for them to ask a lot of questions of a defense, and in particular, it was an MLS defense. I thought that with the pieces there, we've got some pretty good depth. And so going forward in the season, I think it's important for us to have not just the starting players who are going to be able to hit all cylinders. I think it's the guys coming off the bench as well. And I think going forward with that kind of depth, we're going to be able to create some chances.
Are you happy with the preseason performance of your young group of goalkeepers?
I think the goalkeepers this preseason have done pretty well. We've got Matt Persano and Andrew Glazer as returners, yet still on the younger side. But they've really trained as seasoned veterans. It's been really fun to watch, and they've been able to bring along Tyler Patterson, our true freshman, in the fold so that they can be role models for him. So I think so far so good. And the true test is the team's belief. You can tell if a keeper's on par when the team has that belief in that person in the goal. And I think with both the guys that have played, Maddie and Andrew, that was evident during the first two exhibitions.
Are there any newcomers who we will notice making contributions right away?
It's always hard for newcomers to come out and make contributions just because the transition from where they're from to the American college game is so drastic at times, especially in our conference. But I think so far, looking at guys like Bjorn Sandberg, Bjorn was able to play a couple positions in the last two games, and I think he's shown pretty well, to be honest with you. And I think his better days are yet to come. We've got a couple other younger players, Kyle DeHollis, who, though he started in the winter time with us, this is his first fall and preseason training camp, and it was good to see him get on the board with an assist on Saturday against Simon Fraser and created a lot of chances. But I think there's going to be a host of some other players that are going to come into the fold as they get some more experience and some get healthy, to be honest with you. But that, to be honest with you, is really dependent on the returning players doing well. When the returner players do well, then you end up taking a lot of pressure off the newcomers, and I think that's what you've seen in the last two exhibition games.
Was there any facet of the Simon Fraser game on Saturday that you felt exceeded expectations, and anything that may need to be cleaned up?
The Simon Fraser game really posed a couple scenarios that I thought we did well, and I thought our attacking transition was on par of what I think we needed to be going into the season. And I think that with those players, we can even do a touch better. I think that we're on par with how we're defending restarts, corner kicks, and so on and so forth. Those type of details sometimes they can get left behind when you're doing preseason training. I thought our guys were spot on with that. Things that we want to clean up. I think anytime you look at goals against, you want to be able to clean up the defensive effort. Granted, a couple of the goals were against an MLS team, but I think when we look back on it, we don't want to make any apologies for those situations. I think those moments were certainly in our control to do better. And so we're going to focus on making sure that we clean things up defensively, because I think we're better than what we've shown that way. But all in all, I think the attitude's been very good. The spirit's been very good. Very positive vibe going into this Friday.
Can you talk about what you expect from Sacramento State on Friday?
Sacramento State is a well-coached team. Mike Lindenberger's been around for quite a long time, and I've actually had a chance to coach with him with some ODP scenarios before, and he's excellent. And we played them last year down there, and we were up, I think, 3-4-1 at one point, and they came back, roaring back to come back 4-3, and or even tied it up, and I think we had to win it in the end. They've been in the tournament a couple times in the past 3-4 years, so those guys are definitely legitimate. They've got a result, I believe, against Cal in preseason a week ago, so certainly good enough. And I think that any time you come back for a rubber match and it's a match that you didn't win the year before, there's always something that you're looking to get. And so for us, we have to be sharp regardless of the opponent, because certainly Sacramento State's very good, and they're good enough to get a result against anybody in the country. So, but we're looking forward to the challenge and opportunity to get the season off right.
Okay, last thing, perhaps compared to last season, where would you put the progress of the team to this point?
I think the progress this year compared to last year at this time is significantly improved. And I think the improvement lies in the returning players. We have a lot of returning players this year, so there's less to teach that is new to the returners, to the players as a whole. Last year, we really increased the talent pool of the group, but they were all new, and it was a matter of putting the pieces together. And I think that's where the biggest difference lies, is that you've got more returners that can really carry the message on to the few who are the new players. And so in that, I think there's a little sense of growth and maturity that's in the team. There's a sense of purpose. With 7 seniors, there's a sense of finality. And so I think that would be the biggest difference. And I think our players really believe that they have the ability to achieve some goals this year. But the one things that we've been really hammering on the players, even in the spring, is that ability is a big part of it, but it's the other pieces that put ability in motion. And I think the guys have bought in, but we'll see. And Friday will be the start of this journey.